Okay, this is Papa Will bringing you spitting in the kitchen. Today we're going to be making menudo, but I just had to make a video of this right here. This is called a pork hind foot, and I bought this at the Mexican grocery store, as you can see. And this is called a pork hind foot. You see how much this cost? You see how much I got? This thing right here replaces ham hocks. Okay? You know how when you cook a ham hock, it's got a great big bone in it. When you get through, you got some skin and bone and some fat that they tell you don't eat. Well, this thing has got meat on it. See that? See on that side there? All the way down that side, and then coming back around on this side, it's all meat. And then I still got more over there. So we're gonna put this in the pot, get it going. Over here, we're thawing out our menudo tripe. We got like 3 pounds of menudo tripe here. I'm gonna be throwing it out. Then we're gonna cut it up, and I'll be back. Okay, first we're gonna put these both on to boil. I got them both in some warm water. We're gonna turn the heat on medium high on both meats, and we're gonna leave it like that until they thaw out, where I can stick a fork through them, and then we'll start the next round. Okay, we done thawed out the tripe, cooked it a little bit. I'm gonna let it dry out, get cold. Then we're gonna go ahead and start chopping it up into small pieces, add it to the big pot. Over here we got the pork foot. The front foot is cooking real good too. Look at all that big fat juicy meat on it, on that front foot right there. Man. And when it falls off that bone, it's got that good flavor to it too. We're gonna add that flavor to the broth for this menudo. So we're just gonna wait, let this cool off, then we're gonna chop it up in small pieces. Okay, now we're gonna add this basil to this tripe. But this tripe is looking pretty big. Look at them big old pieces of tripe. Look at these big old pieces. Look at that. Big old pieces of tripe. I think they're too big. I think I'm supposed to cut them. So I think we better cut this. I think we better cut this tripe into smaller pieces first. Okay, now we got all the tripe, all the menudo all cut up. So now we have to go over to the pork pot, get our pork, and add it to the big pot. So first I'm gonna put the menudo back in this pot. There's all the cut up menudo. Yeah. And then we're gonna get the pork out of this pot. Let's get all the pork. Uh-oh. Okay. So now we're gonna take all the pork out of this pot, leave all that fat in there, and take all this pork. Gotta be careful, don't drop the camera in that pot, or else it'll be finished. We're just moving the pork over into this pot. Let's make sure we get all of it. And pick them bones out later. I don't need to eat no bones.
That looks such like black food.
Yeah, but it's not. It's Mexican food. Once I turn it red, watch what happens when I turn it red. Okay, now we got all the pork out of that pot. It's gonna stop looking like black food as soon as I get it to turn red. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put some of this bay leaf in there. Basil, they called it. We're gonna put some of this in there and let it cook. I'm putting it all in there because we're making a big pot of this stuff. So I'm gonna put the whole thing in there on the side like I saw it in that video. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on it. And let that cook. Get that flavor going. Wrong lid. Okay, thank you. Now, let me get this lid back up on here. Then I'm going to turn this heat up to like medium high and let that cook. And then we're going to grind up these peppers. And I'm going to boil these peppers. Okay, so we're going to put a few of these peppers in here. I've never done this before. So we're going to put a few of these in here for some color. And that looks like it ought to be enough to me. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Okay, then we're going to put that in water. And then we're going to let that cook. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got our bay leaf in here. We're going to add our pork. Try to get some of these bones out of here now. Got our tripe in here. Got our peppers back there cooking now. Yeah, I'm making a video of this one. Yeah, I love meat, and whatever I cook, I love meat in it. Yep. There ain't no enough meat in it. I feel like I didn't really have nothing to eat. Let me take some more of these bones out of here. If I can catch them. See, I gotta cook this until the meat falls all the way off the bones. So there ain't nothing left but the bone with no meat on it. They haven't. See, that means they haven't cooked long enough. If they don't come right off that bone, then they haven't cooked. It hasn't cooked long enough. But look at all that meat. You never seen Manudo with this much meat in it, ever. No one makes Manudo with this much meat in it. You know. So now I'm going to put this lid on this and let it cook. I'm going to put an onion in here first. Okay. We took the red peppers. We strained all the red sauce off of it. We added it to the gumbo. Now, to give it a little tangy flavor, I'm going to get my favorite, some Cristal hot sauce, and add to this. And then we're going to put the beans in. And then we're going to put a few bay leaves on top. So let's see. We got a little hot sauce going on there. We're going to put the beans in. I'm going to add some Hunt's pasta sauce. Give it that red color. A little more red color, because we're actually supposed to get the raw ones, but I think we got the dried ones, so we didn't get that much color out of it. So I'm going to add a little bit more Cristal and the tomato sauce, and then we're going to add the beans to it and a little bay leaf. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to move to the bigger pot now. Now we've added the hominy, the tomato sauce. I put some diced tomatoes in there also. We thickened up the stock a bit. Now we're going to put this on. Let it cook. Let those bay leaves get in there. Let those peppers get in there. I know it already tastes good already. But we're going to let this cook for a little while longer. And then we'll be having Manudo. Okay. This Manudo has been cooking for about 6 hours now. Look at that nice thick Manudo. Got that pork down in there somewhere. Got a nice red color to it. Let's see what it tastes like. Let's just get a small spoon full. See if we can get a little. Yeah, let's see what that tastes like right there. This is good, man. I'm doing a selfie right now, but this is good. The Manudo is nice and tender. The hominy is nice and flavorful. The sauce tastes good. Oh, man. Okay. Yep. I will need some rice now. This is done and ready to go.